Welcome back everyone, I'm Jay Barino, and this is Starcraft Mass Recall, a Starcraft Brood War remake in Starcraft 2. We are playing Loomings, the Precursor campaign. This was just released with version 5.2 that came out a couple days ago. Now we are on Strongarm. It is the technically first mission of Loomings, even though we did play the tutorial, which was mission 0 before this.
Adjutant online. We have entered into a low orbit over Chowsara and are preparing to descend to the planet. Receiving incoming transmission.
Lieutenant, it appears you've arrived just in time. As you know, the renegades who call themselves the Sons of Korhal have been working for months to undermine Confederate authority in the fringe colonies. Well, they're on Chowsara now, and I'd like to take care of them without involving the local militia. That's where your Alpha Squadron boys come in. There are to be no arrests, Lieutenant. I hope you understand what I mean. I want this problem solved once and for all. Good hunting.
Alright, well that's pretty straightforward. We're just going to murder the crap out of the Sons of Korhal. And this sort of establishes that there was kind of a conflict between the Confederacy and the Sons of Korhal. Now, one thing Mass Recall does do is they kind of have these really cool intro pan-ins on certain levels where they remake some of the cinematics. Alpha Squadron Outpost Chowsara Colony.
Commander. Let's move.
Cool. So yeah, as you can tell, obviously they used the original music from the original game, and those little things like that, those little cinematics like those didn't exist in the original game, and I think it's way cooler that they're in there now. So you can select multiple units by clicking and dragging. Yeah, obviously. All right. So you guys, we'll just pull down. You're just gonna get killed up there by yourself, so I'm not gonna mess around with that. Now I wonder. I'll just make more now. I am on hard mode, and hard mode. If you're new to this series, I apologize as kind of talking as if I know how this series goes, but I do. This I played the entire series before I'm adding the Loomings recordings to the beginning of the playlist because it takes place chronologically first. But hard mode is it's not joking about being hard. It gets very, very, very challenging. So even though this is the tutorial, I don't know how challenging this will end up being. So I am going to be kind of serious about how fast I get going, and I don't know, I'm not just gonna kind of dick around. So now one thing about the original StarCraft is I think these engineering bay upgrades took longer, so that's why I'm getting them started significantly earlier than I would if this was StarCraft 2. It's really weird getting back to the Mass Recall mod. I mean, I did just play Enslavers, but even so, that was only 4 missions, so it's weird getting back to it now. Here, they're already attacking me. It's weird getting back to it now after playing Crimson Moon and Amber Sun for so long, because those were StarCraft 2. They weren't. It wasn't its own mod. They were maps, but they were very, very, very well done. But again, they were maps and not mods. So it was just all StarCraft 2. Nothing was really modified. So it's really weird kind of going back and forth between StarCraft and StarCraft 2 because the differences are very, 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 very noticeable. One small thing I want to point out that's really cool that is different here is, as you can see, when I lift my barracks up, see how when it moves it doesn't rotate, and that's how it was in the original game, and that's how true they've stayed. Is little things like that are noticeable, and that it's just little things that they've added, and I think that's absolutely incredible that things like that are the changes that they've taken the time to make. And when I say they, I mean the Mass Recall team. Alright, and I do want to point out that the Mass Recall authors, one or two of them have stopped by and they comment on my videos, and they're all so incredibly nice. They're so great. So, and I think that's what got me really motivated to continue this when I started, is I made it through Rebel Yell, and it was near the end. I think it was Mission 9, the one with Kerrigan. And I guess I won't spoil anything, but if you've played this, then you know what I'm talking about. But that was the first one where Telenel, one of the map makers, came by and was like, "Hey, watch your series, it's great." And it really made me feel so great. I felt so cool for 1 second in my life. I felt cool, you know. And It really motivated me to keep going on with this campaign, because it was getting to the point where it was really challenging for my skill level, and I think just by playing on hard mode, it actually increased my skills. Now, as you can see, I don't use hotkeys all the time. I do sometimes, but not all the time. And I think the hard difficulty is just right for my skill level. At most, I have to practice a couple times, but then I'll beat it, and that actually makes it particularly fun. And that's why I really like playing on the harder difficulties. So, oh, you're gonna die. Maybe not. Okay, get in there. Now the Sons of Korhal attacks are really heating up here. So I'm not gonna mess around with fire bats. They're just gonna die. So I'm just not gonna bother. I probably have more SCVs here than I really need. 2 per patch. But again, StarCraft Brood War, the mining timings are different. So as you can see, it just says workers 10. It's not 10 out of however many it would recommend. What's happened? Oh, that was supposed to happen.
Sir, we've got incoming, and I'll be damned if I can identify them.
Whatever they are, you must destroy them, Lieutenant. That is a direct order.
I was really afraid my game crashed there for a second.
Recon Squad, Cerberus reporting. We're here to oversee the extermination of these xenomorphs and contain the spread of any hostile infestation on this colony.
Why wasn't I informed of this? Confederate Command never consulted me.
We have our own orders, Magistrate. We don't answer to you. I suggest we get on with this mission.
Oh, Cerberus, I remember them. So you get these cool fire bats and the Goliaths, and we can use those to help us defend. Unfortunately, we don't have bunkers in this mission, which is really, really crappy. Also, by getting those Cerberus people, it kind of messed up my supply, so now I have to remake my depots. That's indeed what I'll do. Now, the Goliaths I can repair, so I can kind of put those in the front, and there's no condition like the Cerberus people need to survive, so that's good. One thing that's really cool is you could see here they've got the Cerberus, not the Cerberus, the Confederate flags on them, whereas these guys have the Chowsara symbol on them. So it's again, little things like that. One thing that I really like is in future missions when you rescue buildings. So like if you rescue a building for another faction, the units that come out have a chance to have the color of the other faction and the symbol on them. So I think that's a really neat little addition. Let's go ahead and get my level 1 infantry. So these Cerberus people are here to help me against the Zerg. Well, they call them xenomorphs or nightmare invaders. If you on the score screen of the last mission, I noticed it after I finished recording, but I just liked how they were called nightmare invaders. Well, they have vultures. That's pretty wild. I think the Cerberus guys I'll leave at home, and then I can attack with my Marines. But I'm gonna need a significant amount. Okay, we'll go ahead and repair some of these guys up, but they come from over here, and I can just leave my Cerberus guys at home, only because I really could give a shit if they die. There's no objective for them not to die, so whatever. Now, because I don't have medics, I'm probably not going to use Stim. I feel like Stim was very challenging to use in the original one because you didn't have medics. Now, in Mass Recall, they give you the option of turning medics on. You don't have to. There was some complaints because I think in the original version they were just on and you didn't have a choice, but they eventually gave you an option. And I like the medics. I like the medics in Episode 1. They make it so that it's not entirely unbelievable because the medics in Episode 1, they heal half as slow or half as fast. What's the correct usage here? But they're half as good, essentially, as UED medics, and you can't research their special abilities. Now, if you want to rationalize this in your head, lore-wise, on the StarCraft wiki, there's something about the Confederacy and the Sons of Korhal using field medics, so it kind of makes sense that you can have medics. They're just not as good as the ones that the UED ended up coming with. Now, here they come again, so let's get up here, and this is the last time I'm putting up with these bullshit attacks, and then I'm gonna go take out the Sons of Korhal, or at least I'm gonna try to. As you can see, the attacks are semi-challenging. Like, they're not horribly challenging, but they can be. We'll get these Marines out here, and then we're going to build more and just leave them at home to help defend. And that's actually a really important thing in the original StarCraft. Well, every StarCraft.
Really, sir? I'm not sure you know what you're doing. If you're going to send us into hostile territory and you want us to defend ourselves, then use the attack command. But if you want us to ignore enemy fire and go exactly to the spot you targeted, then use the move command. Now, which'll it be?
Alright, so that was originally in the boot camp that was in Rebel Yell, the tutorial. And I was kind of curious where it was in boot camp of Loomings, because last mission I was moving my Marines around and they didn't give me that spiel, so it's because it was moved to this mission, apparently. But alright, so it looked like I cut the Zerg off before they could get to me. But as I was saying, basically, a key to winning these missions, especially on hard, is attacking the enemy base is not what tends to be the particularly hard part. It's defending against the attacks. So if you can, you want to always make sure you leave units at home when you're attacking so that you don't get wiped out as you're trying to push, because you might lose your attacking force and not have enough at home to defend, and then you're completely screwed. So again, I think that's a very important part. I don't really know these maps as well as I did the original. Once you get to Rebel Yell, if you're watching this whole series, once you get to my videos on Rebel Yell, you'll notice I really understand the maps a lot better. But these Loomings maps, I remember the missions themselves and like the objectives, but I really don't remember the layout and terraining of the map that well. I think the Rebel base is probably right down this ramp. It is. Actually, I think I went around their main defense force by going around like that, so I'm pretty proud of myself. They are using Stim, but that's just allowing me to kill them faster. On hard mode in Mass Recall, the enemy tends to rebuild, which you eventually will see is a giant bane of mine. So it looks like we're just fine here, though. These vultures can do a lot of damage to me, so I need to probably try to take out the command center and at least the factory. So I'll just chill here, and as they funnel in, I could probably micro away units, but I don't really have to. So I'm not going to. Cerberus guys, you can just... Oh man, see, here they are. They're not kidding around. Are they making more? They are making more SCVs. Okay, so now this is why I'm still building stuff at home. So let's head up here. We're gonna come down and let's see if we can finish this off. So yeah, hard mode. I don't know, where did that giant clump of Marines come from? They came out of seemingly nowhere. Maybe I should just wait until I can make more. My upgrades are looking fine. And I have to make sure I follow my own advice, which is to make sure I make enough stuff to move out with and defend. So I moved out with maybe double this amount of Marines, but then I also left a lot at home. So, alright, you guys start staying at home, and I'm going to go around and see if I can at least take out the command center and the SCVs. That way, any Marines I have left, if I take out production, they can't repair it. They can't rebuild it. Again, the rebuilding is incredibly frustrating to deal with. Incredibly, terribly frustrating. And I could just keep Marines queued up forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If I was microing my Marines in that last engagement, I probably could have been okay, but I don't know. I don't know. Again, I like playing on hard mode, and sometimes it requires some really hard microing and some serious focusing. But it is also, I like to play, it's slightly casual and enjoyable to play, and, you don't have to, be too serious about being like, I need to do this and this and this, and be really careful and do this and this and this, unless it's one of those missions that's just kicking my ass. And as you can see, they've already rebuilt all of these home defense units. It's crazy. They've repaired their command center, all of this stuff. So let's focus on taking these attacking forces out. Let's focus on this factory, and any SCVs that come out we will kill. They might be out of minerals, though I don't know if that's how they roll in Mass Recall, with minerals are not there. We've killed the factory. They can't make vultures anymore, which honestly is a huge problem. So let's slowly kill this. We're going to keep making Marines. Let's leave Cerberus at home to defend against the Zerg. And again, it seems like they don't have any SCVs, so let's at least set this on fire. And if we can kill this before any more Marines start coming out to kill me, then I should be okay. There's another Marine. There we go. So we're pretty much home free now. I just don't really have enough stuff here to finish everything up. So let's go ahead and move down with the rest of my Marines that I have, my new Marines, I should say, and just keep queuing up Marines. We'll leave the rest at home. Okay, and let's see if we can break through the front with this stuff. Now, we've killed all their units in the base. It's just if they have a bunker, I need to be a little careful. And the consensus is no, they don't have a bunker, but they will have more units. So let's get down here and kill these barracks. And let's bring these guys down here, too. Again, using Stim just seems like it would be a huge disaster. I don't know why anyone would think that's a good idea in these where you have limited number of infantry. Like, again, this is StarCraft 1. You don't have things like combat shields or anything like that. Your Marines just have very little survivability. In StarCraft 2, they have 5 more hit points. So using Stim is a little better. You can heal them with medevacs or medics if you're playing the campaign. And anyway, yeah, we've completed this mission. And as you can see, even Mission 1 on hard mode can be challenging. It can be pretty hard, and you have to make sure you build up enough units because the AI does not mess around. With the destruction of their base camp and the subsequent arrival of the mysterious Cerberus unit, the Sons of Korhal withdrew their remaining forces from Chao Sara. Unfortunately, a darker presence has taken root upon the planet. These alien xenomorphs have infested one of the colony's most secure research facilities, the Flanum installation. Now, spurred by the dire Cerberus commander, you must enter into the installation and rescue any survivors. Cool. So, Mission 1 done. It was pretty fun, and that was definitely a lot harder than Mission 1 of Rebel Yell, so I'm glad that the difficulty was increased. There was a remake of Loomings that's been on the arcade. I think it was on the EU side of the arcade, and it was just terribly, terribly easy. Like, it was nice to have the remake, but it was, like, laughably easy, so I'm glad that they added some difficulty to this. Alright, so Terran L01 Strongarm complete. This has been Jay Barino. Hope to see you in the next mission. Thanks for watching. Bye.